Hello. Hi, Pragati. How are you?
I'm good,
Can you hear
Ashim.
me?
How are you doing? Yes, absolutely. Very
I'm good. I'm
clearly.
good. All good. Perfect. Perfect. I was a little worried about the connection, but it's sorted now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Perfect.
working fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So before we begin thank you so much. We have about enough viewers now who have tuned in to this live session. So thank
Yeah.
you, Pragati, so much for joining us on such short notice. That too, also on an
Pleasure,
evening where it's
Ashim.
difficult to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just before we get started, I thought it'd be nice if you could actually introduce yourself, the
Hmm.
work that you do with So Good, and also, yeah, just a bit about the work that you do at So Good, and
Yeah.
in specific also with the kind of work that happens with schools that you engage with.
Okay, so let me just, as you're saying, begin with the work we do with So Good and what So Good actually is. So you see,
Yeah.
So Good is a community of like-minded people like you, me, people who believe that, our children, our next generation should stay connected with nature. And not by nature, I mean there should be a deep connect with nature. So with that respect, it's a very, very thick community, and the community has people like school principals, artists, environmentalists, teachers, parents, etc. So it's a community, I would say.
Hmm.
And under So Good, as I'm saying, the objective, the vision is to work with children and to do activities, to do various things so that our next generation knows that, what really is nature. They should learn to respect what has been given to us. So with that vision, we are working with children in So Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just in
Hmm.
continuous to what you were saying about the
Hmm.
mission of So Good, could
Yeah.
you also speak a little bit about the journey and how it began, as in what inspired you to sort of? I know because you all are relatively young in this space, and it's been about 2.5 years now since the
Yeah.
farm
Yeah.
started, or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Farms,
So
yeah,
this,
2.5 years that we started So Good, yes. Yeah.
hmm, hmm,
So, Ashim, it all actually started with a very, very personal journey. Like, I think with
hmm,
most of us, things start with a very personal note.
yeah,
So, before starting So Good, I have been an advertising professional. I worked with advertising for close to about 10, 12 years. And so when my son was born, I took a sabbatical. Then I wanted to not work full time in advertising, but become a work as a consultant. This is the time when I started thinking about the kind of life we are living, the waste as a family that we are generating. What are we consuming? What is my son consuming? How are we bringing him up? So as a
hmm,
family, we decided to do two things. One, we decided to reduce our waste. And it's not easy. It's easy to say that we want to reduce waste,
yeah,
but even to start composting at home, it's not at all easy. So
hmm,
as a family, we decided that we'll start composting at home. One, and two, how can we bring a little more consciousness in our child and have him respect food that he is eating. So with that, these two objectives in mind, what we started doing was we started growing some small things in our home, and we started composting. And slowly we started realizing as a family there are so many changes that are coming in. Um,
hmm, hmm,
but when I started growing, things were growing magically. I didn't have any background to growing food at home,
yeah,
vegetables especially. So then I started studying organic farming, and that's how the journey began. And in the beginning, I was helping people set up their terrace farms, etc.
okay,
Then a school invited me, Mirambika Free Progress School, that if I can create a curriculum, if I can create a program for their children, wherein they are learning to grow food, and what I'm doing in my house with my son, which is creating a connection with food for him, with the nature for him, if that can be done with other children, which I thought was a superb opportunity for
yeah, yeah.
me. And that's how So Good was created. So Good was actually created in a horse riding school. You haven't been to that farm. This
No,
was
I haven't.
before the
No.
yeah, that was
Ah,
before the Chhatarpur farm. So
Uh-huh.
it was started in a very small space in that horse riding school, and
Yeah.
yeah. So coming to your next point, which is that about schools. So in that horse riding farm, there is when we started working. Um, all the children started coming. I started documenting how are they learning about growing their own food, what are the changes that are coming in their food consumption pattern, their general advocacy about what are they consuming to others and all that. So one
Hmm.
parent asked me that if I would be interested in, again, doing the same thing with schools, with Delhi
Huh.
government schools. So
Yeah.
that's how we started with our first Delhi government school.
The first school is the one we visited, which is the one in Lajpat Nagar, the
No, no,
SDMC
no,
school. Or
no,
that.
no.
Okay.
So that is probably our fifth or sixth school, but one of our,
Okay.
like I would say, one of our favorite schools. It has a huge farm and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first school that we started working with, it's a very, very interesting story, and I'm sure you will like it, Ashim,
Mm-hmm.
considering the kind of work also that you do. It's a girls' school. It's a secondary school, so it starts with class 6. And
Okay.
inside the school, there was no space where children could come together and grow something. But right outside the school, next to, I would say, the boundary wall of the school, there was a dump yard. There was a Malba ground.
Hmm.
So the principal suggested, why don't you convert this into a farm?
Yeah.
So together with the teachers and the children, we cleared up that
Huh.
entire area, and that Malva ground was converted into an organic farm. And that's how the first school started about 2.5 years back, and we are continuing to work with that school. Those girls are in class 9 now, so it's been a beautiful
Huh.
journey with them.
Yeah, that's great to hear. As in, even the work with when we like, for example, similar to this story is another story that we have,
Hmm.
where we work with a government school again, and this is in fact in Jahangirpuri, this school
Yeah.
called Rani Chennamma Government School, and
Hmm.
once again, when we were supposed to do the plantation, I'd initially gone for a site visit, and I
Yeah.
saw the ground, and again, lots of malba that was there that needed to be cleared up. And in fact,
Yeah.
even the principal and the staff had said that it's impossible. But then a few of these kids who were going to be a part of the plantation
Yeah.
said that nahi, hum log karenge. And they actually spent
Bilkul.
3 days together with our team beforehand clearing up the entire
Exactly.
space. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing to see, even, which is what I wanted to get to in terms of my next question also is, both at the farm and at the school, could you elaborate maybe a
Mm.
little bit more? I'm sure even the viewers would, we get asked this question a lot in terms of how do you really monitor that change in behavior that we see in these students? As in,
Hmm.
is there a pre and post sort of assessment that you do, or is it through interactions? How does it
Hmm.
work for you all on
Sure.
the ground
So
with these
very,
students?
very interesting and at the same time difficult question, Ashim, because one is you are working with the children, and
Yeah.
second, how do you, M&E that we say, how do you evaluate that what you are
Yeah.
doing or what you want to achieve with the children, you are able to achieve it. So again, for that, our school program with almost all our schools is a 2-year long program, which means
Hmm.
we visit each school once a week for a period of 2 years. So there is a
Okay.
constant touch with each class, with each child for over a period of 2 years. So in each school, we create a small farm and we create composting units. And you would know that each government school also has a community from where all the children come. तो एक स्कूल है
Yeah.
उसी के पास में एक कम्युनिटी है एंड मोस्ट ऑफ
Huh.
90% of the children come from there. So our objective
Perfect.
usually is to interact with the parents as well. So there is school, there are children, there are teachers, and there are parents. So there are assessments that we have created, which periodically we keep checking. One, the most important thing is, are children conscious of composting? So in most of the government schools, there is midday meal that is being provided.
Yeah.
Some children also bring food from home, and some children take midday meal. And their kids, wastage happens. So are they conscious that whatever food wastage is happening, instead of that going into the dustbin, that goes into the compost pit? So that's one
Hmm.
level of check that we do. Then there are other steps, like for example, each class has to bring green waste from home once a week, and that goes into the compost pit. So you see, if I'm becoming conscious of using all green waste to compost, that's one checkpoint that happens. Two, then there are projects that we create for the community. That, you know, as a community, when you go back to your home, can you together do something over there? Like there is a compost pit again that has been created. Each child has created a mini khet in their own house. So those kind of things happen. Yeah, and for
and I
this,
think,
from the school, yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, from the school's point of view also, and from the funders' point of view as well, there are some other assessments that we have created which we don't really like doing, like those question answer kind of things. That टमाटर कौन से सीजन में उगता है या गोभी को उगने में कितना समय लगता है. There are those kind of things also. But for us, the reality check really is if the child is not bringing, you see, plastic from home. अगर वो कुछ लेकर आ रहे chips, are they saying no to chips? Or even if they are seeing a chips wrapper, what are they doing with it? So we make eco bricks with the wrappers and the bottles. So as a group, they collect the wrappers, they put it in the bottle, and they create eco bricks out of it. So those are some measures that we have put in place. Yeah.
And I think one thing interestingly that when I visited the school in February, was this thing that Divya had mentioned also, that the students do. I don't know if you do it with all your schools, but this very interesting concept of, which again involves a lot of community engagement and bringing the parents to the school to see what the students have done, is that market system that you create. Which of course,
that's a once a year. Yes. So that's very, very interesting. Yeah. So that's something that we do, not just for our schools, but even at the farm. So that's a once a year project with the senior class. So what happens in that is all the produce, this happens usually in winters because produce is more around December, January, February months. It's a complete marketplace that we create. And what's most interesting is that children do role plays, in the sense that one group of children will become farmers, the other will become middlemen, the other will become retailer, and then there'll be marketeers. So that entire scenario is created. There is no real money, and teachers are called. Teachers from outside of the school are also invited, and this entire program is created and managed by children. And you should see the kind of enthusiasm and energy that children have when they are doing it. It becomes like a reality thing for them, that they are the ones who, it's their khet. You see, they are the ones who own the khet. From their khet, they take out vegetables. And this is their show time, that, hey, you know what? This is what we have grown. We are selling it to you. Now you come and take it from us. So the farmer sells it to the middleman. And the moment he sees that the produce is becoming low and there is demand in the market, he increases the price here. So the entire play that happens in this project, that's also that's a very amazing thing to see. So that's a once a year project.
It links in different things in terms of, even, I mean, within your program itself as well, there's a lot of academics that's linked into, like for example, mathematics is there. There's a lot of usage that comes in while the plantation and maintenance is happening. Another thing that I found really interesting, that I've actually found very interesting about the farm space, which we'll just get to speaking about now, which is a different space that you have in Satarpur, where different activities happen. So I've been there, I think, twice now. I came once when Sohail was doing an insect hotel workshop, and I was the only adult that was there. So it was great fun to actually be a part of it.
Did you enjoy it?
Just to learn. Yeah, of course. Just to learn how to build the insect. In fact, we tried to replicate that model in our office on the terrace as well.
So Sohail is a community member, and a lot of our projects are done along with Sohail.
So that was interesting. But what was most interesting for me was when I came for the I think it was the first year anniversary. Or the second year anniversary.
Second year anniversary.
Because you guys had, when you put up the entire event, when I came, in fact, what was the most interesting was that each of the students who've actually been part of that space and I keep bringing this up about your organization, that there's so much ownership of the space of these students, in the sense that they make the space their own. They know what they've grown, they know what they've produced, they know the space inside out. So they welcome you, they take you around the space. So if you could elaborate a little bit more on your the methodologies that you use at the farm itself to increase that sense of ownership between these amongst these students, and also what are the different kind of activities that you actually have within that space?
Sure. So if you're talking about the farm, again, at the farm, objective remains the same, that each child who is coming to the farm should understand the value of the food that he or she is consuming, respect it, and to respect it, you should really grow it. Because vegetables don't grow just without any care, without any effort. They take a lot of effort. And I can see a lot of my farm children are also joining in the chat, and they would agree how many times they have put in so much effort and nothing is grown. Now, to talk about what do we do at the farm. So first we talked about what we do in the schools, which is a 2-year-long program wherein we do farming and we integrate their classroom academics, their science, maths, social studies, languages with farming. At the farm, the objective there is primarily to make children understand the value of food that they are eating, and the academic integration happens automatically. So here we give a small space, like a mini khet, to each child. So that space becomes his or her space for a period of 6 months. It's a 6-month-long program, and not a 2-year-long program. But having said that, children have been coming to us for the last 2.5, 3 years. So the first child who came to So Good is still coming. So that, I would say, is a big achievement. He or she has been coming year after year. So a small space is given to each child. Now you see, farming is also about thinking. It's all about logic. It's about understanding what you want to grow, why you want to grow, and how you want to grow. So the first step that each child has to do is, of course, understand what the soil requires. So maintaining the soil is one of the foremost things that they do. Then they start planning. So the space that they have been given, they design it. What has to grow where? That's where the companion planting comes in. You see, so one child has his mini khet. He wants to probably grow a lot of cucumber this season, and the other child wants to grow tomatoes more. So how we ensure that whatever one child wants to grow can also grow enough that he or she can also share with others. So though I have full ownership of my own khet, at the same time, we make sure that, there is this spirit of sharing. Then we don't prefer to buy seeds from outside. We grow our own seeds. Every year we ensure that there is seeds for the next season. So, and here at the farm, children and their parents both come together. All are involved. So that's a beautiful community which is there. So the So Good Day that you are talking about, that's another event that happens once a year. Again, the idea here is that there should be zero money involved. Like, this should be one space which is for children, by children. And why should money come in between? So there are many stalls, all organized by children, all games done by children. You come and play the game, you will get a token if you win the game. And for the prize, there is a thrift shop that gets organized. And the concept is that all parents, the community, whatever they don't need at home, but is in good shape, they send it to the farm. At So Good Day, so you play a game, you come play a game, you get a token, and the token can be exchanged at the thrift shop. So it becomes a very, very interesting fairy tale kind of a thing where anybody and everybody can come play a game and win gift without any money interaction happening. And also food comes from everybody's homes. So if I'm coming, I'll bring some food. Other people, so it's a potluck that happens.
It's like a potluck, yeah.
And we have people like you, Ashim, who come play music with us, and share your experience. And I can still talk about you, the entire talk that you gave to them
Yeah,
about your experience with Yamuna and the music that you played with them. That was very beautiful.
Yeah, it's always a great. I mean, just coming to that space, because it's a little further away from the city, and then interacting with a bunch of students who are, with, like you said, like it's almost all stakeholders of the project are involved in the entire process. You're building a community. You're not necessarily just running a program within the space. So it's a space that's shared mutually by everyone involved, which is great to see, and I'm sure everyone who's tuning in would agree with that. And the idea is that we not only promote the idea of growing your own food, but also create that community within, which is growing. I think a lot of organizations and people are doing that, but it can only grow from point to point. So yeah, just coming to one of the most relevant issues that we wanted to actually discuss today as part of this interaction, which I'm sure a lot of people would be curious to learn also about how the last 2.5 months have really impacted work on the ground, because getting a sense of the kind of work that you all do and what I've seen also, most of your work is on ground. I mean, of course, it's dealing directly with the soil. It means hands-on learning and experiential learning, similar to the work that we do at Swechha, as in we take students on journeys. We work, again, do plantations with them, and we have all our work is actually on the ground. So just coming to the most important question that I actually wanted to ask you in terms of how in the last 2 months have you all restructured your curriculum, your programs that are usually on the ground, but now, of course, with COVID-19 and for the next, maybe 6 months, 7 months, we don't know when schools will open and what the situation will be. So how are you coping with that, and what is it in terms of tools that you're using for digital learning? If you could maybe speak a little bit about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a very, very valid point, Ashim, because you're absolutely right. Considering the kind of work we do, soil and interacting with nature is one of the, I would say, at the core of the work that we do. So in the beginning, we struggled for a week, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, because we were not able to come up with any solution. We thought, okay, let's just wait. Maybe we can't do anything right now. So everybody was working on their own pieces, like somebody was working on curriculum, somebody was working on processes. But then we realized that, let's come together as a team and start doing something. From that moment, then we started developing our curriculum, which can be done online. So you see, what we do is, anyway in the school, we create a micro environment where children learn. So then we decided, what can we do with children in their homes with very, very limited resources, can also do sitting at home. Now you see, again, the problem is we have two different target audiences. One is our government school children, and second is our private school children. With private school children, you can do Zoom classes, which is possible, which is anyway happening, but what do you do with the government school children? So the first step we did was we use microgreens, growing microgreens as the tool, because it requires very little resources. It can be done, grown from anything and everything that you have in your kitchen, and a little bit of mitti. That's all you need to grow microgreens. So that was the tool that we used. But after that, how do you communicate with your children? Private schools, yes, you can do Zoom classes. So, but for government school children, we created audio visuals. Because data is a big challenge there. And then there was one phone in the entire family with very limited data availability. So then we created audio visuals, which a child can refer to and work on it. And we created WhatsApp group, in which me and the team is a part of the WhatsApp group. So a child does something, takes pictures, sends it to us, and creates a journal out of it. आज मैंने ये किया, फिर आज मैंने ये देखा, मुझे ऐसा feel हुआ. So the curriculum has farming, academics, and behavior. How are you feeling? So through this medium, we have been able to create all these three things. So you are growing, you're using soil, then how are you feeling when you are using the soil? Then we talk about the entire germination process through it. Now the next step is using this only. we'll talk about composting and waste segregation. So it has been taken digital completely. I won't say that the feel is the same. Right now, the feel is
Yeah,
not the
got it.
same, but at least when children are coming together and sharing their excitement of seeing that first sprout, and sharing that
Yeah.
how are they feeling when they saw the first sprout. So there are messages saying, "Ma'am, Didi, pehla beej nikla," and then that you're doing something, and the children are learning sitting at home
Yeah,
as
that
well.
the interest has actually stayed beyond school being closed and beyond it being part of a structured
Exactly.
curriculum. As in, they're not
Yeah.
mandated to do it, but it's
Yeah.
still happening, which is great to see. Yeah,
Exactly. And
and I really
then
like the
one
idea
child.
of
No,
no, the
you
journal
say?
idea. I think that's a great way of. I was saying the journal idea that you all have implemented is a
Yeah,
great way of actually breaking that barrier, because you get to see that day to day, because it's linking to the emotions, how they're feeling, because it's obviously a tough time
absolutely.
for everyone right now. So
Yeah.
it's interesting how you brought in all these different elements within the same thing.
And
Yeah.
Asham, there are two interesting things that have happened. Because children are at home, parents are getting involved.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
while the child is doing that activity, parent is also trying to understand what the child is doing. If the parent observes something and the WhatsApp group is on the parent's phone, parent would send a message saying that ye
Yeah.
ho raha hai. So through this activity, child is connecting to nature, but it's becoming like a family time also. So they are all coming together, and the sessions that we have created, we even tell the parents that, if you are interested,
Hmm.
you also be a part of it.
Yeah.
So audio recordings in our case is working very, very well, because a
Hmm.
child can listen to it at any time. And if they have any questions, they can just write to us, and we can answer those questions. So the
Yeah.
entire team is available on WhatsApp. If I'm not available, Divya can answer. Divya is not available, Shefali can answer. So it's like that, but we are available for children. And we also keep asking them, sharing happens. Like one interesting thing happened. A child made a microgreen planter, and a pigeon came and ate it up, and the mother recorded that entire incident of pigeon eating away the
Ah.
microgreens. So then we asked
Yeah.
the child that why don't you record and share with all your friends, how did you feel when the pigeon came
Hmm.
and ate up your microgreens. So that's the kind of things that we are creating,
Yeah.
giving them opportunities, and sharing, talk about your opportunities, write about the feelings that you are having.
Hmm.
So slowly we are now
Yeah.
going to integrate insects in it, birds as a topic.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, but
yeah,
all
birds,
digital.
insects. Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For now, I think maybe until September, October at least, it's completely digital till schools resume, and then
Yeah.
also one doesn't know how much time will be given to these activities on the ground.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And they
And all.
they come often
Hmm.
to the farm as well. The government
So the
school kids that you
government
work
school
with. Or?
children, once a year for So Good Day when you came,
Hmm.
most
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
our children from our government schools, we arranged for pick and draw, which also
Hmm.
means that as a community we come together and
Yeah.
arrange for pick and drop, and the government school come, and once a year schools also get sanctioned for outings. So as
Hmm. Hmm.
a entire class from school side you can come. That's when they come to the farm.
Okay.
They hire a bus and they come to the farm. So it's like an
Yeah.
extension of what they are doing. And another interesting thing that we are doing is our farm children writing stories
Mm-hmm.
and dialogues for the students in government schools, and the government school children recording their voice and sending it back to the farm children. So that's another bridge that we have created for them.
So it's like a cross learning. Yeah, that's happening. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
within the schools, so 5 government schools you're working with right now, right?
From this year there are
So
12. Sorry, one
okay.
second. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, 12 government
Okay. So
schools
I
and
just
5 private schools now.
okay. Huh.
Hmm.
And is there some sort of cross learning that happens between these schools in terms of do students from one school visit another school to see the kind of work that's happening there, or is it independent
No,
at the moment?
that it's independent at the moment, but what we are doing is for government schools, the principals of one zone coming together
Mm-hmm.
to one school, and
Okay.
that becomes an experience sharing of learning happening. So that is something that we are planning. So yeah, but children going from one school to the other, that's थोड़ा सा manage करने में
Not,
मुश्किल है, because that requires a lot of
huh.
permissions, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you do have visits to the farm, to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
schools
yeah.
from other groups of people who come in at different points to
Yes,
the
that
school.
we do. That's
Huh.
actually very
Yeah.
encouraging for children also. So if, for
Yeah, yeah.
example, you go and interact with them, they are so excited about it, that, you know, their excitement, their level, their learning level goes high up. So we make sure that every 6 months, they get visitors where they are talking about the work that they are doing. They're sharing about their experiences. So that's what you played some games also in the school,
Yeah,
no?
I got selected to play the choose the first. I had to choose the logos, which was done very quickly.
Ha.
There was
Oh yeah,
Nike,
yeah,
there was
yeah. That.
Adidas, and then I
Yeah.
had to choose the different veggies. So I got, I think, 4 out of 5 of the vegetables right, and
Ha.
but it took me much longer. So the idea of the game was to make us realize how it's so easy for us to
Same
actually select
time.
those
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
logos that we
Yeah.
see, which again is
Yeah.
interesting about the behavior of a consumer today. And you're not
Yeah.
able to like I was not able to recognize all my veggies, but I was able to recognize each and every brand that was there. As in there was
Yeah.
Nike, Adidas, and Pepsi, and I think Coke and different
Yeah, there
products that
was.
were there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a very interesting game to sort of play.
Yeah.
Which
Veggie
yeah, I
leaves.
think
So you,
yeah,
yeah,
the
you
leaves
had
they'd actually
the leaves.
to match
Yeah.
the following. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That
yes.
was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was nervous when I went up first, but I have some experience. I was still able. In fact, some of the people who were there in the group along
Yeah.
with us were like, "Did you see it or did the students give you the answer?" I said, "No, thoda bahut to pata hai working on ground. I'm
Yeah.
able to figure out some of them, but I think
Yeah.
one or two I jumbled up. But it was really interesting to see how that game was
Yeah,
actually
yeah, and
planned.
it's very
And then
exciting for the children. They want to learn more.
yeah,
They want to create
yeah.
more such games, you know, so that becomes learning experience for them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, as in even in the entire school, the tire installation was there from before. That's done by the government itself. That was not some, or was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a swing set up with tires.
No,
That's there from.
no, that wasn't
Huh.
done by us. But in one of our
Hmm.
schools, that's again where the tire thing is very interesting, Ashim, because in one of our schools, there is no ground space, there is no soil space. So we
Hmm.
wanted to create something. So that entire it's a huge kit, and it's created using tires. And the tires were also donated to us by another organization. So we didn't have to, you see, buy those tires. So that
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
so these are the learning opportunities that we create for children, that if you are very serious about doing something, look for ways. Instead of saying, mitti nahi
Hmm.
hai, kuch nahi ug sakta, let's all come together, think. And once we have an idea, there will be other people who will join in to execute your ideas. So yeah, that's so from the beginning till each and every project that we do with children, we try and create opportunities for them to learn from.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Interesting. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm also not sure
Huh.
after November or October, once schools open, um, how are the ground reality is going to
Yeah.
be. So one thought that everybody has been talking about, or we have been discussing with teachers, is odd even. Like not calling
Hmm.
all children to the school at the same time. So half class comes
Yeah.
on Monday, second half comes on Tuesday. So,
Yeah.
so that the number of children in school is less, and therefore when they come to the farm again, there is some kind of distancing that's maintained and all that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we are also gearing up for different scenarios. Yeah, see,
Hmm.
team
Yeah. I
training
think it
is
would be.
happening. Yeah.
Huh. And just, I know we've spoken about it a little bit, but how much of a role or how much of a change have you seen because we've spoken a lot about students, but also the educators
Hmm.
within both government and private schools, as in what has been the kind of response that you've seen from the starting till now in terms of educators'
Um,
response? Are they also are they accommodating, or is it something that they're are some of them less accommodating, or are they equally involved in the project?
I think they are very involved, Ashim.
Hmm.
Uh, like we were surprised, happily surprised to see how each and every teacher, even in our government school, is going out of her way to make sure that children are involved with their learning. Um, they have been following with us that, what next should we do with children? I want to talk about this. How can So Good be involved in teaching this to the children? So I think in this scenario, teachers have taken ownership, because I think somehow they also feel that sitting at home, and especially in my government schools, where the first feeling is कुछ नहीं हो रहा होगा या क्या हो सकता है, कितना कर रही होंगी teachers, but it's actually completely the opposite of that. Teachers are doing so much over there. They are following up with children. They are responding to all the messages that are coming. They are, in fact, they are recording their voice and simplifying the questions and chapters and sending it to the children. So I guess teachers are very enthusiastically involved with all the learning.
Yeah, and I think it comes from the students itself, as in that energy is sort of stemming from both sides. Because if the student is actually that motivated and wants to really do that, because when we interacted with some of the teachers as well, the first thing they said is that day at the farm or at school, when you have that yearly event that happens at the school, that's something that these kids look forward to the most, or they look forward to farming day in school as well, which is And it
so the other interesting thing is, see, in government school, attendance is also an issue. But,
I'm just going to get to that.
So attendance is an issue, but I guess children love being outdoors and learning outdoors. So the day So Good has to happen. If attendance is usually 35 to 40%, that day attendance is 60 to 65%. So most of the children try and attend the sessions on that day. So therefore, even during this time, teachers want to involve us more in a way that, more programs can be developed so that children are engaged more doing that, and therefore the learning can happen faster for them as well. So that has been an interesting experience for us also. I mean, that makes us feel happy to see how the attendance absolutely shoots up on those days. It's an interesting way to monitor the project as well, in terms of how interest levels, if you see on a daily basis, the attendance is growing on the particular day that farming activity is happening, you automatically know that there is an interest within the students. And I think that's also across levels of grades, where if you're engaging with one grade, then the juniors look forward to being involved in the process as well, or they learn from this. So it's actually, like you said, as in at the start, you said that you're building a community, and that's where it all started from. So it's actually interesting to see how, something that started on your terrace and simply growing veggies on your own as a family has now become such an extended family of So Good, and you have so many partners on board, which is I think one of the biggest strengths of the organization today. I also feel it's a very beautiful feeling to have.
I'm just going through to see if there are any comments or anyone who has any questions at any point. No questions as such, I think, but a lot of people have actually commended the work, and a lot of your students have also joined in, I think, in the middle. Insta gnomes. A lot of my kids who are around 12, 13, 14 years of age, they're all on Insta now. And in fact, some of the posts are also written by them. So what they feel, experience at the farm, they write about it on Insta also. Do you all have a blog as well that you've created, or it's all on social media right now? It's only, in fact, we don't even have a website right now. But my kids who are in 10th grade, so they are working on it, because they are all very excited about it and full of stories, etc. And they have just taken their 10th exam. So soon, I guess, once they have compiled it. Okay. So as in, thank you, Pragati. I think we're almost out of time now. I don't want to take up too much of your time as well. So thank you so much for coming in on such short notice and being a part of this discussion, and also not only shedding light, of course, on the work that you all are doing and you have been doing for the last 2.5 years, but also speaking about what the last couple of months have been like, and what the future holds for organizations like you that actually work on the ground. So of course, best wishes to you, to the future of So Good, and also what you guys have in mind for the next couple of months. It's a tough one for all of us to deal with.
It is,
but I think
it is.
We're figuring out things, and even ours is completely digital now. I was just doing a session a couple of days back with a group of 50 students in one go. So we had like Zoom calls with them, which is very challenging because you don't have that face-to-face interaction, and there are of course, there are tech challenges that happen. But I guess these are times that we have to live in right now. So thank you for speaking about those as well. And
Absolutely.
Really, it's commendable to see that you guys haven't shut work, you guys haven't really shut down on your projects, and you're finding new ways, constantly trying to change according to.
In fact, it has increased now because everybody is at home and it's easy, like digitally, you can connect with people whoever, I mean, even if they are not in Delhi. So there are different groups that have been created. The reach is more now. So you must have heard of Manzil group.
Yes.
Yeah. So now there is a session that has been created for the core team members of Manzil. So we are doing farming sessions with them also. So yeah, the reach has increased. I mean, that's one plus point of going digital, I guess. Though again, you don't meet each other like the way you meet. You sit down in a circle. So the connect is different. Because for us, sitting down, holding hands and sitting in a circle is like how you begin a session and how you end a session. So I don't know how to do that on Zoom as yet, but I'm sure we'll figure out a way to do that.
Hopefully we don't have to do it for too long, and hopefully
I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
So just
cool,
stay safe and look forward to seeing you at the farm sometime soon.
Absolutely.
Hopefully when things ease up.
Let's do
the
music
farm has resumed work as well, right? You guys are opened up.
Farm is open. We are growing, but children haven't started coming yet.
Children are not coming.
But farm is open. This year we are growing amaranth for the seeds. So all of that is happening. In fact, before lockdown happened, a Saturday before that, children had finished their summer sowing because it takes them at least 3 to 4 sessions to plan, prepare soil, and then sow. So just a week before that, the entire summer sowing was done. And I mean, they are sitting at home. Of course, we send them pictures of what is happening, etc. But it's not the same as yet. So I think slowly we'll start bringing smaller group of children to the farm at least. But let's see how it goes. But right now it's all digital.
Happy to, All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pragati. Look forward to meeting you soon in person as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Okay. See you. Bye-bye. Bye.